Students, in this lecture I am going to discuss the explanation of the essay of love that has been written by Francis Bacon. This essay has been prescribed for BA2 English Honours syllabus, and the essay is as the author is saying that the stage is more beholding to love than the life of man. He is just trying to say that the stage is more uh, concerned about love, meaning by in literature, in theater, in novels, films, movies, stage is more beholding to love. Means love since time immemorial, love has been remained a, an enticing theme that the life of man. It means in real life it is not so much beholding. Okay, for as to the stage love is ever matter of comedies, meaning by he is saying that since time immemorial, it has been providing matter for comedies and tragedies and tragicomedies and now and then of tragedies, but in life it does much mischief. But in life its behavior is much more playful. Okay, sometimes like a siren, sometimes it plays a hypnotizing role, and sometimes like a fury, sorry, other times it is fearful. You may observe that almost all the great and worthy persons whereof the memory remains either ancient or recent, there is not one. Here the author is taking examples from on the basis of his memory. He is saying that amongst all the great and worthy persons, there has not been a single one that has been transported to the mad degree of love, that has gone to the extreme of madness of love, which shows that great spirits and great business do keep out this weak passion. Here the author is calling this a weak passion. He is trying to say that the great persons have remained away from this feeling. He is going to define it as a compassionate feeling, and you must accept. Here again the author is saying that there are exceptions also. Nevertheless, Marcus Antonius, the half partner of the Empire of Rome, and Appius Claudius and December and lawgiver, whereof the former was indeed a voluptuous man and inordinate, but the latter was an austere and a wise man. And therefore it seems, though rarely, that love can find entrance not only into an open heart but also into a heart well fortified. It watch be not well kept. The author is saying, he is giving example, presenting examples from history also, that it cannot be guaranteed that a great man is great and beautiful, or a virtuous man is not going to fall in love. No, this is not so. If they are not alert, then they may be fallen in love. And therefore it is a poor saying of Epicurus. Who is Epicurus? He is a Greek philosopher, and again he is going to use a phrase, satis magnum alter altri theater sumus, meaning by each is to another a theater large enough, meaning by we are going to learn from others, as if man made for the contemplation of heaven and all noble objects should do nothing but kneel before a little idol and make himself a subject, though not of the mouth, as beasts are. Author is trying to say that we are here for uh, fulfilling the godly purpose, for fulfilling the heavenly purpose, but we, meaning by he is trying to say the lovers who are going to waste their time on involving in this weak passion, they are wasting their time just uh, keeping their eyes on the object of their love. And it is a strange thing to note the excess of this passion and how it braves the nature. He is saying that love, it is a compassionate feeling and it crosses the lovers. I mean to say, the lovers are ready to cross all the limits. How it braves the nature. Nature here stands for the human nature, and value of things by this, that the speaking in a perpetual hyperbole is comely in nothing but in love. Ki these feelings, these uh, sayings, hyperbole is appealing or agreeable in case of love only. Neither is it merely in the phrase, for whereas it has been well said that the arch flatterer with whom all the petty flatterers have intelligence is a man's self. Certainly the lover is more. Ki the lovers are going to praise themselves more and more. For there was never proud man thought so absurdly well of himself as the lover does of the person loved. Ki they keep on praising the object of their love, and that love is, for it is a true rule that love is ever rewarded either with the reciproc or with an inward and secret contempt. Author is going to make a ironical statement ki it is true that it is a reciprocal relationship, and definitely either it is going to be, either a lover is uh, going to get love in return of love, or he or she is going to get a um, miserable condition, secret contempt, secret hatredness if he or she does not get success in his love. By how much the more men ought to beware of this passion which loses not only other things but itself. The author is going to make a very clear cut statement that the more men ought to beware of this passion which loses not only other things but itself. Ki the lovers are on the edge of losing themselves also. As for the other losses, the poet's relation does well figure them, that he that preferred Helena quitted the gifts of Juno and Pallas. He is going to dictate here, uh, take examples from the literature. He is saying that the lovers are ready to quit anything just for the sake of getting their love. For whosoever esteems or whosoever favors too much of amorous affection, too much of this feeling, quits both riches and wisdom. Definitely, he is going to lose both his wisdom and his property wealth. This passion has his flirts, this passion has his own extremes. In very times of weakness, which are great prosperity and great adversity, though this later has been less observed, both which times kindle love and make it more fervent. Ki with time it grows and it keeps on crossing its limits. Okay, then further the poet is saying there is in a man's nature a secret inclination and motion towards love of others, which if it be not spent upon someone or few, does naturally spread itself towards many and makes men become humane and charitable. The author is going to say that the one who is not going to the object of his love, then definitely he or she is going to move toward charity, and it is going to make him turn into a charitable person or great human being. Nubital love, again a very beautiful line. Nubital love makes mankind ki nubital marital love makes one responsible man. Then friendly love perfects it, but wanton love means the love which is uh, based on feeling of senses. Wanton love corrupts one and embassies it. It makes it baseless, degrades one. Okay, bye beta.